Hi, I'm Claire Merritt and I'm an employment law partner here at Paris Smith. I'm going to be giving you my 5 top tips for wellbeing, mental health and employment law, an area of my practice I'm particularly interested in. So please subscribe to our channel for more content. So my first top tip for wellbeing, mental health and employment law, and I'm going to bust the myth, talking about it doesn't create a problem in itself. So therefore, being proactive, training your managers, having an active mental health and wellbeing policy, having an active engagement with your staff will not create problems in itself. In fact, it will just highlight issues that are already there and potentially causing issues in themselves. So really do empower your managers, empower your staff. It really does help solve problems before they happen. So my second tip for managing wellbeing, mental health and employment law is, shockingly, people have private lives. And that is really easy to lose focus on when you're having a busy work environment, maybe a particularly stressful working environment. But everyone has private lives and has issues potentially in that private life. And they also deal with those responsibilities differently and those stresses differently. So you've got to have a broad brush approach to issues that people have in their private life and a toolbox for dealing with different people in those situations. And that will really help your staff's wellbeing, treating them as individuals with different issues and different problems. So my third top tip follows on very neatly from my second top tip in relation to wellbeing, mental health and employment law. Don't treat your people all the same. All managers can be guilty of this. In particular, managers want to treat everyone equally. Equally means fairly, means the same. But actually, it's so much better to tailor your management to individuals, how they're feeling, how their circumstances are changing, perhaps their medical issues, and seek advice as you need to on those individual issues. So that is a longer and more tiring process for managers, but it really does avoid problems in the long run. So my fourth top tip for wellbeing, mental health and employment law is clear communication. In fairness, this is a tip that any employment lawyer will give you. If in doubt, write it down. Make sure you are clearly communicating back and forth. So I know it's really good to have open, honest conversations, but if you have action points, if you have concerns arising from that, get that down in writing, because afterwards you can come back and reassess those points. That will give structure to you and the employee, and worst case scenario, it gives people like me the opportunity to see your thought process if we have to go to an employment tribunal. If in doubt, write it down, and if you're concerned, imagine it being read by an employment judge. Those are some tips that really, really will stand you in good stead when you're trying to evaluate whether your communication is clear or not. And so my fifth top tip is planning, planning, planning. Human beings love certainty, and if that's anything we've learned through the coronavirus pandemic, we like knowing where we are. We don't like sudden change. So therefore, if you are managing a change in the workplace, or you're going through a change in the workplace, planning and communication are so important. Think about things in advance. Plan out the stages that you need to go through, and then communicate them with staff. It's better to tell staff we have nothing to communicate with you than not communicate at all. That way everyone knows where they stand, and that way people's anxieties aren't heightened by any planned change. Thanks for watching my top tips in relation to wellbeing, mental health and employment law. I hope they were helpful. If you've got any queries at all, please contact the Paris Smith employment team. Our details are all on the website. And if you want more content, please do subscribe to our channel.